Drinking this album, listen to the booze. I think it would pair well, if only for you, cause it's Album Brews.
Hello, folks, and welcome back to Album Brews, the stickiest music podcast. I do not make a living wage telling people what they want to hear. I'm a podcast host. My name is Sarah.
E numine patre filii de sanctus et filii. Oh, sorry, wrong saint. Hey, my name's Zach.
And I'm Saint Kathy.
The nicest saint.
Yes. Saint Kathy, patron saint of Chicago tunes. Mm-hmm. Welcome to our podcast.
Thank you for having me.
Otherwise known as Girl K.
Yeah, Girl K in the streets of Chicago, Saint Kathy in the churches of Chicago. I don't go to church. That's a lie. Not very saintly of me. But yeah, just playing indie pop music, you know, ready to drink alcohol and talk about music that inspires my music.
Well, you've just hit everything on our checklist.
Yeah.
Oh, perfect.
That's perfect.
I guess that's a wrap then.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you so much for joining us. Well, speaking of music that inspires you, will you tell the folks at home which album we're talking about today and a little bit about why you picked it?
Yeah, we're talking about Strange Mercy by St. Vincent because I had to not pick Taylor Swift just because I was like, I was really almost about to email, like, we're going to do all of her discography.
We're just going to do the Eras tour on the podcast.
Exactly. I'll have my backup dancers.
Yeah.
But yeah, I wanted to pick an album that, like, I had love moments and, like, not so much love moments in, so, like, I could feel like I could, like, give it a real honest review. But I also wanted something that, really impressed me and, like, felt like was talk-worthy, and I didn't really see St. Vincent covered yet, so I was like, okay, we gotta touch that domain.
Absolutely.
I think we just barely talked about it one time on our live show.
Yes,
she
you're
did
right.
An incredible Metallica cover.
Oh my god, our first live show. Memories.
Yeah. So it's good that we're bringing back St. Vincent. Because we're big fans.
We're both fans.
Yeah.
And tell us about what's for to drink tonight on this lovely Monday.
Yeah. We're starting off the week real well here with the Death in the Afternoon drink, which is, I didn't really want to pick it because I was like, that is going to be strong because it's just absinthe and champagne. But it's, I can't remember, was it invented by Ernest Hemingway?
I think so.
Yes,
Okay, that's wild. And like, St. Vincent has like 2 references of champagne in the album. Like one song is literally like champagne in the title, and then another song has like the year of champagne. And then also, when I was, like, listening and reading the lyrics at the same time, there's a Hemingway reference in one of the lyrics. Like, literally name drops Hemingway, and I was like, wow, okay. And then also, Chloe in the Afternoon, Death in the Afternoon. Like,
it's, like, too perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's no other option. We're gonna get silly turned.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then on top of all that, we're also celebrating a very special episode.
You read it in the title. I hope that's a part of why you clicked on this one. Yeah. It's episode 69.
We finally did it. We can stop podcasting now.
This is our last episode forever.
So the champagne is a nice celebration drink for this so special episode.
Yeah.
You gotta get to 420.
I know.
The next milestone.
That's the next funny number.
That's the next number.
Yeah, we got time. Let's crank them out. Well, none of us have tried this drink yet. None of us have tried this drink ever. So shall we do a first sip?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right.
Cheers.
Cheers. Oh.
Good morning.
Yeah. But that's actually really good.
It's really strong.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah, it's got the, like, definitely alcohol at the end taste. But, like, I don't know.
But you're getting bubbles. You're getting
Taste the licorice.
licoricey.
I was like at the liquor store, like trying to find the absinthe. I don't know anything about this drink. I'm like, is this illegal? Is this like a moonshine? Like, should I
No.
ask the guy about this?
Yeah, should we talk about absinthe a little bit? Because it was legal in the States for like a century. I was like reading about it because like I'm a hypochondriac.
Same.
Through and through. And I remember like seeing like a BuzzFeed video or something when I was a kid about like absinthe makes you trip.
Oh, yeah.
And like artists used to drink it and then like hallucinate and go crazy. And so I was like reading this whole thing about it, and like it was banned because it had like wormwood in it, and wormwood, which is also in Malort, by the way, which was not banned during Prohibition. Funny enough.
It's medicine.
It had this like compound in it that people thought like affected your brain and made you like not in an alcohol way, uninhibited. But then like years later, they're like, no, they were probably just like drinking a lot of alcohol and getting drunk.
Just 63%.
And then like doing bullshit.
Well, there's that episode of New Girl. I don't know if
Yes.
where like they go to like a cabin or something, and like Nick just drinks like a whole bunch of absinthe, and he like starts tripping out, and like that's just immediately what came to my mind. Where I was like, this podcast is about to get like 2 days long, like
We're about to have a spiritual experience.
descending to madness.
You know what? I could think of a better album to just really,
I know,
really
this
trip
feels
out
like
to.
a very intellectual thing. And St. Vincent feels very intellectual.
so
I
smart.
literally wrote in my notes. I was like, I have not like I had no energy to be analytical, like in terms of like I felt like I was back in AP English, and I
It's
had
kind
to
of a
write.
lot.
There is, because she writes like in poetry and like in like non-literal kind of ways. So
Yeah, we're not song exploders, so we don't have to
Yeah.
hit every literal artsy thing on the head.
Go listen to the Song Exploder St. Vincent
Exactly,
episode and get that fix.
We're just gonna talk about the vibes.
We're gonna goof and mush.
Yeah.
thank God, I literally have the word vibes in my notes like 30 times.
Gorgeous. Well, before we get into it, I'm glad you introduced yourself as Saint Kathy because it goes really well with the game I've prepared. So, do y'all know the story behind St. Vincent's like name? Why she goes? Her name's Annie Clark, but she goes by St. Vincent. Are either of you familiar with that, or like how that came to be?
I'm not.
No. Did
Okay.
she go to the Caribbean?
That's not part of this story.
Is it Vincent Van Gogh? Because she's so
No.
artsy.
But Vincent Van Gogh, I think, also loved absinthe.
Oh,
So that would be kind of
it's
gorgeous.
kind of a cool time.
According to Wikipedia, it is a reference to a line in a Nick Cave song.
I thought you were gonna say
referring-
Nick Cage movie.
Every time I read it, I'm like, Nick
That would be so.
Cave.
Okay, go ahead.
But it's about, oh my God, now this is going to sound like a downer. The hospital where Dylan Thomas died.
Oh.
The St. Vincent's Hospital.
Oh, wow.
And also, her great-grandmother's middle name was St. Vincent.
Whoa.
Which I'm like,
Wow.
classy. But she is, I guess, now technically a saint, right? Like the patron saint of cool girl art rock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've got her on a little candle, you know, one of
Yeah,
those,
totally.
what are they called?
But whatever's behind. I'm not religious
Yeah.
either, but they're cheap candles.
Long candle.
The tall guys. So like I did not grow up Catholic, but Catholics have like patron saints, which are I've seen them sort of likened to like God's secretaries. And it's like if you have an issue about this thing, pray to this saint and they'll like get back to you in 5 to 7 business days with like whatever God's gonna do about it. And there are some weirdly specific patron saints in the Catholic religion, I came to learn. So I've got a game prepared called Saint or Ain't, where
That's a great
I
name.
am going to say the name of a saint and what they are the patron saint of. And you two are going to work as a team to tell me if you think they are real or not.
It's a good thing this is Catholic because we're drinking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they're totally cool with it.
This
These
is
Totally.
sanctioned because
These-
I was raised Catholic.
These
Perfect.
saints are A-okay with this. What's going on?
Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. So we'll start out with number 1, the patron saint of bald people, Hedwig of Silesia. Is that real or not?
Kathy, did you say you were Catholic?
Yeah, but I was forced to go to CDC, which is like the classes that you have to take to do all the stuff.
So you're gonna have a better insight in this than I will.
Well, the name like reminds me of like the stuff that you get in like snacks or like clothes sometimes that you're not supposed to eat.
The silica
Yeah.
gel.
What was the name again?
Hedwig of Silesia.
That
Okay.
does kind of sound like silicone.
It really actually
Yeah.
quite
Well,
does.
Hedwig, like Harry Potter, the
Yeah.
owl. So like maybe
So you're thinking made up?
I'm thinking made up.
Yeah, I think Sarah made that up.
This one's real.
Wow.
I like found a list. Maybe I'll link it. I found a list like alphabetically of all the saints, and it was dead ass like saint of bald people.
Huh.
I was like, oh,
All right.
so like, are you praying
Gotta look
for
out for
hair
those guys,
plugs
too,
or
yeah.
something?
Yeah.
That's all right. We'll move on to the next one. The patron saint of snake bites, Hilary of Poitiers.
Sarah makes these games so hard sometimes.
I'll also say, Zach, this might inform your guesses. The people who are fake, I used a Dungeons and Dragons name generator.
That's fantastic. Sarah, you're so smart.
I would not be able to tell the difference. I don't know. Now that I know that information,
Yeah, that helps.
this one
That's a
kind of
clue.
feels generated. What was the second part of the name?
Hilary of Poitiers. And it's my understanding that the of is like the city they're from. We should like consult someone.
Get a Catholic on the show.
Let me phone a Catholic, get, like someone devout.
Let's go to the lines now.
1-800
Leave it in the comments
Catholic.
below.
Make sure to subscribe if you're Catholic.
Smash that like button.
If you're Catholic, please leave us a 4-star review.
No, 5. 5. We want them all. We want them all.
Yes. Oh yeah.
Representation.
I'm just gonna say fake. Snake bite sounds
Yeah.
silly. I mean, bald sounds silly. Damn it!
That one's also real. It was like they were like a patron saint of like a bunch of animal injuries, I think.
Wow.
Okay.
What kind of
Weirdly specific.
saint has a name of Hillary? Like
I know,
Saint
right?
Hilary.
That one.
That
and then
one.
never again. All right, number 3. Troy of Bright Song, patron saint of taxidermy.
definitely fake.
This feels fake.
Yeah.
Got one.
Yeah, you're right. Okay, number 4. Lidwina of Schiedam, patron saint of skaters.
I kind of hope that's real.
She's like patron saint of Thrasher.
Patron saint of zoomies.
Pigeons hate us. We're trying to think how cool she would look if she was real. Patron saint of skaters.
Right?
It's like stained glass. She's got like Vans on.
Yeah, she's got
On
like
a
bands on
board.
the board. She's got like one of the necklaces with spikes on it.
Any like
Yeah.
accenting on the first part of the name?
There are no accent marks.
Oh, that's a good indicator.
That's a good question.
I'm gonna go with real.
You're correct.
nice.
You had the right intuition. It is specifically of ice skating, which I guess they were doing. But I was like, work, patron saint of skaters is how it was phrased.
Yeah, that's cool.
So not as cool. Still cool.
Still all right.
Yeah.
You've got 2 on the board. Number 5. We have 7 of these.
Okay.
Patron saint of instruments, Alfred, spelled with an E, of Nihilus.
My only intuition on this is that she said she used a D&D generator, and the first 3 letters of this guy's name is Elf.
Right? That's what I thought too.
That's interesting. I didn't notice that.
Elfred.
A likely story.
Patron saint of instruments. I'm sure there is a patron saint of instruments.
I know, that's the only
It's gotta be a
thing.
thing. I think we should go with my
Go
gut for
fake,
Alfred. Yeah, fake.
You're so good. You're right. That one is fake.
Wow, we analyzed the
I
shit
did
out of that one.
not notice the elf thing.
That's why I'm bad at tests, because I just be overthinking. Like the
Sweating on the Scantron.
literally
Like,
the just pick C does not work for me. I can't do that.
too stressful.
Yeah.
Okay, number 6. Patron saint of hemp,
Oh,
aka
I like this guy.
69, that good kush. Patricio of Brandis.
I think it's real.
I'm gonna go with real too.
Okay.
That was a good intuition, but you're wrong. I made that one up.
That makes it a bad intuition if it's wrong.
True. All right, finally. Saint Julian the Hospitaller, patron saint of murderers.
I mean,
Say his name again.
Yeah, Saint Julian the Hospitaller.
What is hospital?
he's the guy.
You
that
tell
sends-
me.
Yeah.
It's in the hospital.
He
I
sends
mean,
him to the
saint of
hospital.
murderers.
Yeah.
Like, get over there.
What do you think?
I'm gonna go real.
Sure, let's do it.
All
I'll follow
right.
your gut.
You're correct.
Oh, I was so for sure it was fake. Good
No,
job.
you're correct. And you got the majority of them right. So I'm going to
Nice.
say, like, for the rest of this episode, you guys are honorary saints.
Oh,
You're-
okay.
Yeah,
I'm
I'll
sainted
drink
for
to
that.
that.
Wow. The bar
Yeah.
must be really low.
There's one for murderers.
You could just be saint free.
That's not very saintly.
No. Well, congratulations. Good job.
Yay.
Thank you.
Shall we get into it? Into this album?
Yeah.
Yeah. Talking about murderers, Strange Mercy. That's a kind of cool album name. Did you guys have any thoughts about what she meant by that?
Maybe kind of like our choices and what we choose to like forgive and not like kind of just I feel like there's a lot of like self-doubt, I guess, or I guess kind of just like a view of the world and like our behaviors throughout like the album, but specifically with like I feel like is Strange Mercy the one?
Yeah, that
Let
is
me
the
see.
title track.
Is that the one where I wrote that one of the songs was about bullying. But I can't. Well, I mean, we'll get there when we get there.
Yeah.
But definitely, yeah, I think it's like more or less about like what we choose to be merciful of. That's my guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think, Sarah?
I felt snowballing on top of that. I felt very similar. And, like, I was noticing a lot of, like, people make weird choices that they think are, like, the best thing to do for that person or, like, merciful. I'm doing air quotes. But it, like, doesn't sound very good on paper. Was kind of the vibe I was picking up.
Yeah.
Like, you kind of see a theme.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, like especially the tracks about her dad that we'll get into.
Yeah, dog.
We're like that.
I didn't know. I've like heard this album before. Like I like St. Vincent. I've listened to this album before. I've never researched it.
No.
There's so
I'm, like,
much
getting
research to
into
do.
it. I'm like, there's lore. Like, holy shit.
It's so cool. She's so smart.
I know.
Really?
This is smart girl rock.
I'm like,
Actually, yeah.
yeah.
I know. It was like I mean, we'll get there when we get there, but I definitely like got like Fiona Apple vibes on like some of the songs.
Yeah.
You know, just like smart girl.
Yeah.
Oh, if only I was.
Guys, stop being good at
For
stuff.
real, making the rest of us look bad out here.
Thoughtful and talented. God damn it.
Yeah,
Not us. We're unthoughtful and talented.
exactly.
Yeah.
So right.
Squirrel brain.
Yes.
Like out of all the other St. Vincent albums, like I gravitated more or less towards this one because I think the majority of the songs on there like are really good songs, and even the songs that aren't as strong are still like well written and like I can tell that there's a lot of thought in it. But all in all, I think this is one of her best in terms of like. I feel like it really ties into like what she was doing before this album and what she then went on to do. So
I agree. I feel like it's kind of not a turning point, but like a marker of like the first two. So I have Marry Me right behind you, Zach, on on vinyl. And that one's like very stripped back, a little more acoustic. And I know a lot of this is the third album of hers that we're talking about today. That one's also kind of acoustic. And this one's like a little more synthy and a little more heavy and a little more crazy. And I feel like from then on, there's a lot more of that. So I'm into it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm all about like most bands' junior albums are always great. I feel like I can say that pretty confidently.
That's a sweet spot for a lot of people. Yeah. Zach,
This is
how are you with
also-
St. Vincent?
I actually am kind of like a fake fan. I just know the big hits.
Sure.
But I love the big hits.
This is
Yeah.
a safe
So,
space.
yeah,
Yeah.
no judgment.
Yeah.
so yeah, I was all about it. Like I was super into this deep dive. I'm gonna go do this to the rest of her discography, I think, because
Gorgeous.
like the synth parts in this album are so like like I'm gonna say this so many times tonight, smart. Like they're
Yeah.
like they're really intricate and neat and like the self-oscillating stuff and then she's still got like drums and guitar, so it's like still
Yeah.
music. It's very good. I'm a big fan.
Definitely.
It's good stuff. Well, let's get into the title track. Our opener, Miss Chloe in the Afternoon. I was thinking if my name was Chloe, I would not shut up about this song.
No.
I'd be like, guys,
Guys.
I mean,
It's me. I'm in the
Hey.
afternoon.
I definitely
sorry.
have a playlist with just any song that has my name in it.
yeah, that's good. There are a couple Sarah songs too,
Oh,
and when they
yeah.
come on, I'm like,
Sarah's
you shouldn't
Smile.
have,
Sarah Smiles.
right? The Alex G Sarah song is really good.
There's like a Zach and Sarah song too, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, someone told us about that. Yeah.
and neither of them are spelled the way that we actually
Yeah.
spell them. It's like Sarah without an H, and
And
like
Zach with the H.
yes, you took my H from me.
Yeah, I stole it.
Whoa.
But yeah, what did we think of this song just like as an opener and your general thoughts about it?
Great opener. I definitely think like the first whole half of the album is so strong. But I like love the gritty guitars, and just like I like a distorted guitar is like my cup of tea, and that's like one of my favorite things that St. Vincent does. And I feel like this like is kind of like like this is what I'm doing in the track. I literally wrote down, what is this song about? Who is Chloe?
Who is Chloe?
And then I looked it up, and it said the song is about sex, and I was like, okay, that makes sense. Like at the end of the track, that she's like doing some like purring or something.
It's like she's like rolling her R's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was like, I get it.
I love that you said distorted guitars your jam because we've seen you a couple times, and your guitar player has like some of the juiciest guitar tones.
Oh yeah.
Like just like some of it's like very like screamy, like 70s rock. And It's very good.
Love it.
We live. I was also looking at like, who the fuck is Chloe? Genius.com said like, Chloe's a dominatrix.
I was reading that
And
too.
I was like,
so
work, Chloe. And I was like continuing to think. I was like, dominatrix, strange mercy. Is there like a sense of? I don't participate in dominatrix things on either end, but is there a sense of strange mercy like involved with that interaction? And we're like, it's an onion. Like
Yeah.
St. Vincent is an onion,
Because like, does mercy involve like shame,
right?
or like, kind of like, yeah, I guess it's shame, because like someone who might be into dominatrix, like maybe not want to be like as outwardly about that in fear of kind of like what other people might think. But maybe this song's kind of just like, I'm really leaning into it. I'm like wilding out, but I don't know, that's interesting.
I know. I was like, okay.
it's also the name of a French film, which is like so on the point here. I think.
Oh my
Wow.
god.
Yeah.
For real.
I read that. And I'm like, I'm not surprised.
Yeah.
Redact everything I said.
Do you know? I don't know. I'm not familiar with the movie. Do you know like who she is?
1972 is when it came out.
Gorge.
I'm directly reading off Genius.com right
Yeah,
now.
for sure. Let's go to our research department.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, here I'll show you guys and then describe it. But this is a naked woman on a bed in the what the film cover looks like. So could still be
Idyllic.
about sex. Yeah.
I mean,
Sure.
yeah,
Yeah.
certainly.
Idyllic, is that what you said?
Yeah.
I wouldn't put it past her to watch a movie like that, you know,
Right.
like, to just be a smart person and watch.
French cinema.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Like,
I saw this album was also kind of a writing exercise, kind of like a Bon Iver thing. I think he does this where it's like, I'm gonna go in a cabin for however many months and like seclude myself and just like pump it up.
But she was in an office space from the drummer of Death Cab for Cutie
Exactly.
in Seattle.
whoa.
In Seattle.
Yeah, that's where she wrote this.
She does strike me as an art appreciator very much.
Certainly.
Yes. The next song
This is
is
the
a
one.
fucking banger. This song is so good. It's just so catchy.
You're.
Yeah.
I made it on YouTube, and it's still there. Indie dance workout video. like maybe 2 or so years ago, and Cruel is one of the songs that I danced
That's so
to.
good for that.
Yeah.
Like, it's so upbeat.
I'm like doing like arm pumps.
Yeah.
It's
Like, keep going.
Exactly. And that's why like I feel like it's so, out of all the songs in the album, well, there's one other one that sticks out, but this one sticks out to me because it's like, even in her whole discography, we don't get something that's so like, feels so like light,
Yeah.
and like poppy, I guess. Like, I feel like it was almost even like commercial, I would say, in some points, but obviously still has like those St. Vincent moments where we're kind of like switching up everything. But like definitely like the do-do-do-do-do-do, do-do-do-do-do, like that's so giddy.
I wanted to ask you all about the violins. What did that make you feel like?
The ones that are like...
I wanted, like, I couldn't put my finger on it. Like, what is that sound?
Well...
It kind of like sweep in and then it goes back to like that.
It kind of sounds like little angels to me.
Is it a little music theater-y?
A little bit. A little, like, operatic.
Yeah.
Perhaps.
Yeah, definitely.
But I think this song... the guitar riff in this, the main one, is a drug to me. I love it. I was, like, listening to this album... And I felt this way about this song for a while, but, like, whenever I, like, just have a bunch of songs on shuffle and this comes on and I'm just, like, walking around at Walgreens or some shit, I'm the coolest bitch in this song.
Yeah.
Like...
Main character energy.
I want a vibe set. I just want to play the intro, like, where the guitar starts to kick in.
Yep.
And, like, imagine, you're out, you need to buy some Dayquil. You have your headphones on, noise cancellation.
Oh.
You've had an iced coffee. And this is what's happening.
I think it's a sample.
Maybe
of
it's like
old,
Disney.
old-timey
it's like a
movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
I could see that.
Yeah.
Hearing it with these headphones on, I'm like, I can hear everything.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a certain vibe that like just comes out of nowhere.
Yes.
Literally like black and white
It
film.
takes me
like,
somewhere,
old timey like piano ragtime kind of
Yeah.
violins, like sampled. Also the do-do-do-do-do-do-do is like also like so like silly. I don't know.
Right, it's downright whimsical.
Yeah.
Like,
This was the bullying song. This is the song I thought it was about.
yeah.
Yeah, that made check out, yeah.
Just
Could you be so
Absolutely.
cruel?
Yeah. Yeah, because I was just like talking about like, well, not even, I thought it was about bullying, and then I thought like maybe it's about like self-bullying, because she's like talking about like bodies, something what everybody wants from you kind of thing, like casually cruel, like kind of like those comments you might make about yourself that you pass off as just kind of like you know, talking shit about yourself, but then like also it's like your insecurity showing. But was my guess from that was the last thing I think I tried to be insightful about.
And then you had to turn it off.
Yeah. I was like, I can go on and on, so.
Yeah. But it's like one of those things where, like, on a super subconscious level, you say, like, kind of the meanest thing in the world in your head.
Mm-hmm.
And then you, like, go to therapy and you tell your therapist because you, like, wrote it down. Your therapist is like, that's so mean. Why would you say that? Casually cruel. Sorry.
Yeah, definitely.
I was also... Did you watch the music video for this song? I was watching it, like, today. But the, like, basic plot line for those who haven't seen it is, like, St. Vincent's character in the music video gets, like, kidnapped by this family who, like, lures her out of a gas station because there's, like, a little girl who, like, loses her stuffed animal and she's trying to be nice and, like, get it back to the kid. And they, like, kidnap her and they, like, force her to, like, play house. And then they, including the kids, it's, like, 2 kids and, like, a dad, try, like, a myriad of ways to, like, screw her over and then eventually, like, murder her. And I was like, perhaps there's a commentary on women here and society.
Yeah, so what I read into and what I took away from it, that this is like, yeah, about like female bodies in general. And just kind of like
Which can be like
the perception of
internal and
women.
external.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. And, like society's like perspective on it and stuff. Like it's kind of cruel how society has treated women in their bodies.
Yeah.
Thank you. You get a stamp on your ally card for that.
Thanks.
That was good.
I've got
that is good.
12 now. I get a
Yeah, you get a free ice cream cone at McDonald's. You gotta cash that in.
I also like to point out in the show when I learn new words, and I think Zephyr is a cool word. Do you guys know what that word is?
I only know it in the context of there's an Amtrak line named the California Zephyr, and I never looked into what the word Zephyr means.
Zephyr.
Correct.
Yeah.
Spelling bee.
It is the west wind, considered the most favorable the directional as a wind, and this is probably like an old sailing word or something is what I can kind of like derive from it. But her lyric here is then the word the zephyr blowing past you, blowing fastly so they can't see you. I don't know what that means. It's beyond me, but it's a cool word.
It is. That's smart, man.
The favorable wind blowing past you.
That's interesting.
Yeah. They should be, this is what we need to stop reading All Quiet on the Western Front. Mm-hmm. We need to start reading St. Vincent.
You're so St. Vincent book club.
Like, we all know that war is bad.
Of course.
But what we don't know is what St. Vincent is talking about when she says Zephyr.
Right. We need to learn.
Yeah.
We need to go back to school. My last thought about this song is the line, "They could take or leave you, so they took you and they left you." I remember the first time I heard that, I was like, bitch.
Arrow through the heart.
I said, oh my God. I was like on the blue line in college. I was like, I've been done dirty. Oh my God.
And
Like,
they took me and
so
they left me.
Literally.
Just one of those things. I'm like, how did you know?
Yeah. When you could have been taken SMH.
Yes.
So you're definitely not that person's cheerleader anymore, that's what you're trying to say.
Ooh.
Certainly not. Ready? Let's go. I wasn't in cheer. Apparently neither was St. Vincent. I was like looking at it and she's like, nah, dog. Like I was a band kid.
Do you know what the original word for this? This was kind of like our last episode. We talked about how bands just kept changing lyrics.
Yes. I don't know what the original for this song was.
Dirt Eater was the original lyric.
Oh.
And then it changed to cheerleader.
Interesting.
Yeah. But cheerleader is such a like wild choice, I think.
I think it's very fitting in the sense that's like very anthemic song. Like I like to describe some songs as like stadium songs, where it's just like you're like, oh, you know, you're playing this like in a stadium with like a bunch of like the crowd and stuff. And I just thought like there's also even some parts in the instrumentally that sound like, you know, We Will Rock You-esque, like people like on the bleachers stomping, clapping,
like the thumps on the eyes
Exactly.
in the chorus. We play that. I don't have a timestamp.
Yeah, I'll find it.
Pour in my purse in the dirt, but I don't wanna be a cheerleader no more.
Yeah.
That hits.
That does
That's
hit.
a good chorus. That might be my famous chorus on this album.
Oh, certainly.
I love how it's so, it like is not giving cheerleader.
No.
Like the vibe of the song is so like dark and kind of like villainous.
Ooh.
Is this the song about her dad?
No, not yet.
Really?
This one was kind of giving me like deadbeat boyfriend, like I'm hyping you up when you don't deserve it, and I'm like pulling my punches, and I'm over it, dude. I don't want to be your cheerleader. Fuck off.
What's with the America with no clothes on, or like
So
just the
that's where
references
I
to
got
America?
confused.
Because I was like, it'd be too obvious if this was like a police brutality song.
Yeah.
But like, I could see that tying in somewhere. But that's why I was like, maybe it's about her dad because like he obviously went to prison.
Yeah.
And like, you know, you want to like cheer for your family, but like at a certain point, it might just be too like exhausting or like you can't. But like, it's still your family, so like you're like sympathetic to the situation. But that was my only thing with it. But I mean, in general, yeah. Like if I was a teenage girl, I'd be like, yeah, I'm not gonna be your cheer. Send this song to my boyfriend as a breakup.
So here's a genius annotation that I kind of believe because, like, it just makes sense. This might be a reference to an Allen Ginsberg's poem, America.
That's
and I'm just
too
like,
intellectual
sure.
for me,
Like, I
but
didn't
tell me
read the
about
whole
it.
paragraph because there was like 3 of them.
yeah.
But
Word.
I'm just like, yeah, that checks out. She probably references famous poetry
Surely.
all the
Of
time, all over
course.
this.
Yeah.
I feel like this is a good time to bring in some context for like what was going on in St. Vincent's life around the time of the writing and release of this album. So apparently, and we're going to touch on this a bunch, I'm sure, like throughout the rest of this episode, but this album came out in 2011 and 2010, the year when this was being like written and recorded, was apparently a really tough year. One of the toughest moments for St. Vincent being her dad getting sentenced to prison for involvement in tax fraud. And her having to like console her young siblings and like see her dad get arrested and shit. Tough time. So we'll see a lot of like you're saying, like so some of these songs are gonna be about her dad.
Some of them are just kind of like a bummers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder what that poem is about too.
I'll give you a quick little stanza from this
Spark note.
poem. America, when will we end the human war? Go fuck yourself with your atom bomb. So it's very much like
It's very anti-America.
I've seen her with her clothes off. Like we know what's really up. Oh, it's a long poem.
Yeah.
Is she dismissing the criminal intensity of tax fraud? Because
Yeah, like, fuck paying taxes. I mean,
yeah,
Right.
Like that's my dad. He shouldn't have to pay taxes. Actually,
Can you guys like be easy real quick?
yeah. I mean, like, yeah, tax fraud. Like, out of all the things to go to prison for, like, 'cause they lay it out pretty. I mean, I'm the first one to want to scam the government.
Of course.
That's for sure.
Of course.
But, like, tax fraud, I really got to go to jail for that.
12,
Right.
12 years.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
Wow, how much money?
I thought it was like a company thing. It was like a corporate thing. So it must have been like
Yeah,
Cash-
I mean,
cash
we know
money.
she come from money.
Yeah.
That's for sure. She
She
went to
went to
Berkeley.
Did she go to Berkeley?
she's a Berkeley dropout.
That checks
Yeah.
out.
I think she went for 3 years
got
and then was like,
to-
they don't care about the art,
Yeah.
man.
She got to go on tour with like a bunch of jazz bands and stuff, like
Oh, dang.
throughout her whole youth. I was like, that's why you can play guitar like that. Like,
Right. Right.
Crazy. Like, could she play guitar like a surgeon?
I was going to say, like, you would come from money if your parents were surgeons.
For real.
I was going like Weird Al, like a surgeon.
Oh.
Yeah.
Cut for the very first time. Track number 4 is
Yeah.
called Surgeon. I saw that while doing a little research. Just I Google things. This was inspired by a Marilyn Monroe diary entry. Like the little refrain that she has where it's like
Best finest surgeon.
Best
cut me-
finest surgeon.
Come cut me open.
Come cut me open is like a direct pull from a Marilyn Monroe diary.
What was she talking about?
I don't know. She's gonna get like rhinoplasty or something.
Okay.
Marilyn? I don't know.
Sure.
I don't know. But apparently I've noticed St. Vincent is very much into the like day drunk housewife aesthetic.
Yeah.
The very blasé, like I could see her finding Marilyn Monroe kind of inspiring in that way.
Sure.
Of like ennui, like just come cut me open, like I'm getting another plastic surgery or whatever.
Yeah.
Like,
And we see that in, like, Daddy's Home.
Yes.
Like, I feel like she really leans into that. But yeah, I, like, even, like, this, I mean, even in the past songs, like, one thing I noticed that she really does is, like, repetitive lines.
mm-hmm.
Like, best, finest surgeon, like, repeats over and over again. You know, like, I don't want to be your cheerleader anymore. Let me pull out the list.
Yeah.
Even though we haven't gotten there yet. Living in fear of the year of the tiger. Did you really ever stare at me? I saw the northern lights. Like, there's just so much, like, repetitive lines throughout the album, which I feel like really points to, like, her focus on, like, the instrumental, or even just trying to, like, drill something into your mind, but also, like, catchy melodies. Like, if there's a catchy melody, ride that wave, like, all the way.
Say it 8 times, yeah.
Could be the whole song.
I've noticed that too, and a lot of the times it ends up also being the title of the song, and it's like this catchy ass, like, repeated X amount of times throughout the song melody. So then when you look at a St. Vincent track list, you see these song titles, and you're like, oh, Chloe in the afternoon. Like, you know exactly what the song sounds like just based on that. Like, there's a good...
And if they were just, like, generic pop songs, I would hate on it, but I'm not gonna, because they're not generic. She can get away with it.
It's
really
like
easy.
she's kind of smart with it.
Yeah.
There's a stickiness to it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Some of them are kind of like mantras, right? Like, she's just repeating it, like, to herself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good way to think about it.
There are a couple songs on this album that I feel that way about. Honestly, Surgeon kind of feels that way sometimes.
Can we listen to some of the instrumental on this one? There's
So
like
good.
a dirty bass line and then the synth lead that comes in.
Are synth in this song.
Yes.
It's at 328.
We
and-
had the same time stamp.
Exactly.
We were off by just a tiny bit, so I'll split the difference.
Oh, sure.
I'll split the difference. But we thought the same thoughts. We've been doing this for too long.
And then the rest goes harder. Like, the rest of the music heard the lead and they're like, oh, okay, we'll catch up.
You're like, we got it coming up.
That's her on guitar.
Oh, word.
That's crazy.
Yeah. There's a A24 video where you can see her playing that part. Yeah, that bass line. Never even...
Insane.
That's so good.
Yeah, that was like I actually have a St. Vincent guitar.
Oh.
So she did this like collaboration with Ernie Ball. And it's like a blue she like created the shape of the guitar and everything. So it's like imagine like the shape of an axe but on both ends almost, except not as curved. It's like very I don't know, like pointy, I guess.
It almost looks like a bow tie.
Yeah, that's the perfect way to describe her. Like a smushed lightning
I
bolt.
just looked it up and I want one. You have one?
I have the, like, it's like a blue sparkly one, like a dark blue sparkly one.
I think they have them at CME.
Yeah.
I don't play guitar, but I've been to CME and like noodled on one because I love St. Vincent.
Never seen a guitar that looks so much like how an artist sounds.
And I feel like I do an injustice every time I play it because I'm like barcode, and she's doing that crazy line. Like,
Right.
Yeah.
the A24 video of her, like, that changed my life because I was just like, one day I want to be able to do that, but mentally I'm not ready to take that on.
Yes.
You have to read a whole bunch more poems and Ernest Hemingway literature and really get in the headspace.
I was in choir for like 4 years in high school, and each year they teach you like the same music theory course.
Right.
Picked up none of it. None of it.
Really?
No,
Yeah.
no music theory in my body.
I was also in choir for a while. Couldn't tell you which notes are on a
Circle of
staff.
Fifth Who.
My intro is from choir.
You
That's some
did that
Latin
in
shit,
choir?
yeah.
Oh my god!
I don't remember what the piece is called, but I still remember all
We
the Latin.
can probably talk about like choir pieces and we'll
Yes.
like, you know.
Yeah.
Okay.
Everyone's done a bit of Excelsis Deo.
Yeah.
Like,
Of
Egg,
course.
Celsius. Yeah, you gotta
Yeah.
say the egg
Egg.
because there's like 40 of you.
So picture yourself in a Wisconsin, like this is where they play basketball, and it's like 300 choir kids, and you're in the bleachers.
You guys did this one?
Yeah, dog. I learned the alto part. Yeah.
So you know what you can't see from Wisconsin? The Northern Lights.
Don't rub it in.
Maybe
you
for
might
the
be
best.
able to, like, up by the UP. But I don't know.
Maybe.
I might
Maybe.
think it's the end of worlds.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's the lyric. Or I'm paraphrasing.
I'll say this one took me out of the album a bit.
It's a little sleepier.
It's just like so out of what she was doing in the first half of it. Like
The
I
hype
feel-
isn't there.
Yeah.
It's like it's so. I wrote random indie rock track. 'Cause, like the drums are and the guitar, like it's not as like
This is-
intricate and impressive.
It's the most real instruments you hear, which
Yeah.
normally I'm about. But I think
it's
I'm with
St.
Kathy on this
Vincent.
one. Then I'm like, oh, this is not what we were doing for the last
Right.
5 tracks.
I'm sorry. After Surgeon, after
Right.
Surgeon, we're going indie rock.
Interesting.
Yeah. But it's a champagne year.
Yes, this is our
Yeah.
first mention.
Mhm.
Did you guys know? This was something that I learned. Do you guys know like what a champagne year is?
It's your golden birthday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Or it's like, yeah, like your champagne birthday, apparently. I always called it golden birthday.
Uh-huh.
And then it's like where the day of your birthday matches the year that you're turning.
And this was
And then the
St.
year-
Vincent's golden birthday, or champagne year.
So get into this. I'm in my champagne year right now.
Hell yeah.
Which I didn't realize.
Layers.
But 25 on the 25th. Like,
Whoa.
yeah, it already happened. I already had the birthday.
Happy belated.
Thanks. It's a champagne year.
Mine was 16.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah.
This line is good here. It's a champagne year full of sober months. Because she's having a bad
Yeah.
time.
And the
Yeah.
other line after it is like something moments, the dry moments.
yeah, through my dry
Yeah.
moments.
Clever writing.
Yes.
So smart. But yeah, her like champagne year, she turned 28 on the 28th. And it was the year where her dad went to prison and maybe other stuff happened. This is not a great year, apparently.
Wow. Yeah, this song reminds me of like White Winter Hymnal, but like they're stranded in the woods and they're like trying to gather supplies for survival. I don't know, like just like it like yeah, White Winter Hymnal on like a trip.
Yeah, naked and afraid.
Yeah,
White
Naked
Winter
and
Hymnal.
Afraid.
Naked America and Afraid.
Yeah.
Yes.
Do we want to do a drink and AC break?
You just read my mind.
Yeah.
Before we go to the title track, let's quickly grab some bevos and run the AC.
Yes.
Strange.
Strange. Mercy.
Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah.
Wow, that was actually fine.
Yeah.
That's like one time we came back and we did jazz. Remember
Oh,
that?
yeah.
That was a while ago.
I did like a walking bass line.
You said, oh, boom, 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 boom. Yeah.
And someone came in.
Mouth trumpet.
Yeah. Oh, mouth trumping could have been my personality. Like
Stage name Mouth Trumpet.
my old vines were mouth trumpeting. Like
Yes!
That's a fantastic fun fact about you. I love it. No, I don't know if anyone's ever said those words before. My vines were of me mouth trumpet.
For real.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'll have to do like a command F for when's the last time someone mentioned Vine.
Yeah, a lot. Our Gen Z market is so confused right now.
The retention rate fucked.
Yeah. Sorry, musically. TikTok.
Sorry. I mean, Instagram Reels.
Yeah.
Friendster.
No.
Be real time.
Sorry, Yik Yak.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Oh my god, Yik Yak. What a weird.
Yeah. Everybody couldn't wait to talk their shit.
Right. Everyone within a 2-mile radius. I'm about to air it.
So risky.
So title track Stage Mercy. We've been alluding to this track all along for a long time. So the tension is there. The audience wants to know more about her dad going to prison and how she feels about it.
My favorite song on the album for sure.
It's haunting, dog.
Yeah.
That
It's
synth
like-
line.
Yeah.
Like, it takes you to another place. Like, it's so like Silent Hill video game. Like do 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 do. Like I like it. Vibe. So
Spook.
yes, spook.
Yeah.
Perfect. Fitting title.
Yeah. And it's also the song where it feels very like I'm comforting a child, or like I'm comforting someone because shit's fucked up. But like the song is so spooky.
Imagine you have a good relationship with your father, and then he goes to prison for 12 years. I'm sorry, I had to imagine that part.
I was gonna say, imagine that. Shit.
Like, yeah, I would be writing sad-ass songs,
Yeah, I'd be
too.
fucked up about that.
So crazy.
Yeah.
This one is, like, deeply, deeply melancholic.
I think that's where like the theme comes in of kind of like, I mean, if we were going off the forgiveness thing, just being sympathetic, but also feeling strange about this, like, how could you put us in this situation when we have a family to take care of, like, now I'm in this responsible role, like, I want to feel bad, but I also, like, have resentment towards you kind of thing.
Yeah. And I was seeing at the time that like Annie Clark St. Vincent, she was like in her late 20s, but she had like kid siblings at this time.
Wild.
And I could not imagine being in that position and being like, oh God, not only do I have to deal with this, but I also have to kind of.
Were you not the older sibling?
I am the older sibling, but only by a little bit. Only by like 2 years.
Yeah, the small gap.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm a middle child, but like my sister has definitely been like, I had to take care of you guys, and I was like, my mom had a home daycare. I don't know how much you had to take care of. I don't know how much you had to take care of us, actually.
Like, were you on the payroll?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I took care of my sister in the sense that like we both played Mario Kart in the basement. Like that was sort of, or like I drove her to dance practice.
A real saint.
Thank you.
I'm number 7, so I
you're kind of a
definitely had
baby.
siblings that were like straight up just raising me.
You were seven.
Yeah. You have
family
a lot
of
of
seven.
siblings.
7 of 9.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I'm the luckiest one.
So you're like
Seven.
real middle child.
I'm the oldest, youngest, because they're kind of like all in 3s.
Wow.
You're the
If
little
that
rabbit's
makes sense.
foot.
Yeah. So I think I get qualities of each.
So your
Each
family
of the-
parties are fun.
they're loud.
When the Emerys rolled up.
Are you Mexican? Like, what's going on?
No, my parents just didn't
You're
have
just from
cable.
Missouri.
What?
Well, I've never made that joke on air before. I make that joke all the time.
That's good. That's good.
Luckily, our dad did not commit tax fraud, so
Love that.
or he didn't get caught doing that. All I can say.
Allegedly.
Not yet.
Wink.
IRS got a backlog.
But can we just play? Can we maybe find the bridge, or
Yeah, man.
it's all kind of just verses, right? Which is pretty pretty
there's-
interesting for
it just
such a
kinda
just
keeps
such a
Gambling.
an important track to not have like that chorus that reoccurring.
Mm-hmm.
Very St. Vincent of her to just
Yeah.
be like, I'm going to subvert your expectations.
Try
Okay.
hard. Just kidding.
Right. The kid in class is like, you forgot to check the homework from
For real.
yesterday.
Yeah.
But when you see him
like Twin Peaks vibe.
Yeah.
I've never seen
Yes.
Twin Peaks, but I know.
But you just know the vibe.
I already know. Video game, like scroll video game, like
Oh my god, like a platformer. Like,
Yeah.
yes.
Oh shit! I didn't even think about that till just now. It's so on point.
yeah, like
So
very
good.
foggy there is a video game that exactly like is this vibe. It's like black and white. It's very like foggy. You're like a little guy who's like going through and like
Is it Hollow Knight?
maybe I wish I knew enough about it, but it's like definitely black and white scroller vibes. But like she has so many video game moments. Like she should be soundtracking video games. Like
that would be kind
That would
of
kind of
it.
yeah.
horror video games. Come on.
Like a mystery. I love like a $15 like you solve one crime and it's just like a narrative video game where it's like who did the murder in this
Yep.
hotel. And you're just playing through that, and I want St. Vincent to score it.
That's like the Doritos video game.
I didn't play the Doritos video game.
I don't know if either of you had heard of it, but like Doritos like partnered with I don't know, forget who, with someone, and they like just came out with like this computer video game, horror video game about like a hotel.
About Doritos.
And but it's just like you could only play it after 12 a.m. I think, and then they would like turn it off at like 5 a.m. or something like that. But it's like pretty impressive for at that
cool.
time.
Huh.
But like could be this. So look up the Doritos video game.
That's pretty cool.
Noted.
Noted.
Okay, I skipped ahead a little bit because I still want to hear the line.
Yeah.
Strange mercy. If I ever meet the dirty policeman who roughed you up, no, I don't know what. If I ever meet the
Something that I think is so interesting about St. Vincent's music is she does this crazy like guitar that's like so like
And it's her own
heavy
guitar,
and grungy
which makes it
and
better.
like
Yeah.
and like she's making that happen. And also like her singing voice is so lovely and it's like a little angel twinkling over this.
The
Come
juxtaposition,
on, man.
right?
Yeah, juxtaposition. I also have noticed, and this is just like such a teeny tiny detail, but I was like watching a bunch of St. Vincent music videos today to like get into the vibe. I've noticed she like makes her like her breaths between phrasing like really prominent and like really intentional.
Yeah.
And you like watch a music video and she like shows it, like opens her mouth for it.
I didn't notice that.
And I don't know what to say about that. I just think it's interesting.
I feel like Taylor Swift does something similar.
Yeah.
It's like very like stylistic. I mean, like I'll say that listening to Taylor Swift has definitely like taught me how to sing more expressively. So it's like not something that like you really think about, how like you can kind of like personify the words that you're saying a bit, kind of like just really add character and meaning to it just by even how you say them while you're singing, because you're so focused on just like singing it right. But like so like just hearing that, like that's so intentional and like almost like she's like, I'm really saying something, like I'm saying it with all of me kind of thing.
And sometimes like producers and whoever will like edit out the breath.
Yeah.
And sometimes it works, but sometimes I'm like, it adds something when I hear the breath.
Right.
It's like part of, it's like when you're watching a live video and you can see like the camera shake. And there's like,
There's
there's
a
like a
person
person
here.
right there.
Yeah.
You're like,
Yeah.
there's like a person right here singing this to you
It's
about their dad.
expression,
Yeah,
like,
that's a good word for it.
Yeah. Very human. Very
Yeah.
human choice here.
She's not a robot. You heard it here
No.
first.
She's not a hologram.
Yeah.
Robot
No, she's not
accusations
AI.
debunked.
If anything, AI should have been modeled after St. Vincent.
Right.
So we almost did a fruity drink.
Yeah.
This episode I heard off air.
Yes.
And it could have worked with this song. We
Yeah.
kind of neutered the fruit.
Yeah, I mean, this one has
We did.
yeah, this one has grapes, but we like put absinthe in it, and that would probably like kind of sterilize.
That's our new
the
formula.
fruit.
It did neuter the grapes.
Maybe a little bit. This one is one of the tracks where I felt like it felt a little bit like a mantra, like a meditation. Like it's not, I think, super varied and like super dynamic in that way, but like the opening lines of "Did you ever really stare at me like I stared at you?" I was like, "Ooh, owie,
Oh, yeah.
owie."
The bluntness of this one is like immediately tangible.
Yeah.
It's very tune yards in terms of like just like the sounds and like the way that she's singing, but very tune yardsy. This one's not my favorite.
Yeah.
Like definitely neutered, like more like neutral.
like a 7 pH.
Yeah,
you
I
know?
felt like this was kind of like alluding to kind of what her ideas were for Daddy's Home. There's definitely some like funk, psychedelic kind of 70s guitar riffs in there. I didn't love Daddy's Home. There's like a few moments in there that I liked, but just kind of felt like definitely like trying to tell a story about something, but not really giving us those moments as like literally like, how are you gonna put Chloe in the Afternoon, Cruel, Cheerleader, Surgeon, all in the first half of the album,
Right?
And then like give us like, you know, kind of like it's not earworms, but it's like a think piece, you know.
It's like a meatloaf. You know.
Tell me more.
You know, it's not like a piece of candy where it's like the same thing, sweet, yum. You know, meatloaf has got like texture and ketchup, and you got to gnaw on it for a little bit.
And you can't leave the table till you finish it.
Right. It's like meatloaf and green beans.
Yeah.
I ain't touching those green beans.
There's this really great tour video of them sound checking this song. Have you guys seen it?
No, I haven't.
Something about it just kind of rips. It's like her in like this empty venue. Like listening to the monitor, or not the monitor to mix, the house mix. Because I was like trying to figure out what like the sounds were. Like, were they synth or were they like another thing? Were they her guitar with pedals? Like, I bet it was like rattling the house of this little venue. And it's just like Mrs. Vincent herself, like just in the middle of this.
Can I use this moment to say I have a big crush on Annie Clark?
Yeah.
Can I say something and no one will get
I'm
mad
trying
at
to
me?
I'm trying to say where is Cara Delevingne in all of this?
Oh yeah,
I'm pretty sure they were dating during this time.
2011.
Maybe. I don't know. It all blurs a bit,
Yeah,
but I just feel
I
like
remember
this
being
would
on
be...
Tumblr when that happened, and it was kind of a kerfuffle.
Does not sound as good as the Spotify track.
Fair enough.
But just that brrr.
so good.
And she's just like
From her guitar.
she's just like nodding along. That one is from one of the synths, I think.
I'm telling you, that A24 video
Yeah.
will freak you up because you just see the things you thought were like in like synths, her playing on the guitar, and you're like, goddamn, like
Yeah. Talented woman.
that is insane.
She looks so chill doing it too.
I know. That's
She's
what
like,
makes it so good.
Yeah,
And it's kind of like a cool little like behind the scenes, like for fans of people who are artists to be like, oh wow, like you're like just standing in the middle of this open room, like checking on the sound.
Yeah, right.
noted. I will
Simply
do that.
chilling. Yeah.
Yeah, do a tour video
Yeah.
of it. Yeah.
Just going where the
The
sound
fan-
engineer is. And being like, how does the room sound?
Yeah.
When I play this.
Do you know what year our champagne was that we're drinking?
Oh no, is this where I expose myself? It's not from France.
Oh,
it's
a
not real
sparkling
champagne.
wine. Ernest Hemingway would be pissed.
I
Yeah.
searched high and low. I think it's a 2019, but it's
Okay.
a cava. It's not actual champagne.
Okay, that's fair.
Whoa.
I know. But the recipes I
We are
looked up
celebrating 69 with fake champagne.
with lies. The next season is all about dishonesty.
Is this the episode where we announce our like buy us a drink link?
There we go.
Send us $5
Yeah.
if you want to buy us real champagne.
So we could have put real champagne on the podcast.
In the arms of the
For
angel.
just $5
for just
a
$1
month.
a day. You can help these podcasters.
Pay their editor, host their website, and buy real champagne so they sound more honest.
That's so funny.
Champagne is the truth serum.
I think absinthe might be the truth serum. I'm
Yeah,
not gonna
I'm
lie to
feeling
you.
absinthe.
I'm feeling silly.
This is that SpongeBob episode where like they're not sleeping for some reason, and Mr. Krabs is like, day 29.
Let's give it up.
Are you feeling it now?
Arachnoid, let's give it up. Champagne year.
Champagne year.
I liked that it was like a tiny bit twinkly.
Just
It's a little
really sad guitar.
Yeah. It is the sad song.
Yeah.
I love her voice in like the lower register at the very beginning of the song, because I feel like, you know, her guitars are so dark and like everything's so gritty. So I feel like a lot of the times she tries to contrast that with like a light, airy vocal. But this one was very much like a lower register coming into it. I thought this one had like the most beautiful writing. She says, I'll make a living telling people what they want to hear is true. And the vocal melody on that line specifically is so good. So yeah, very like melancholic and pretty.
Yeah. Can we find that line and then just let it ride into the guitar solo?
Yeah, man.
That
Yeah.
was so like jazz radio. Man.
Yeah. All right. Next here on 95.5, the Jazz radio songs.
Be the jazz radio song.
And that's very scat. And that's very scat.
This is
This is an album reviews.jazz.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
Can we get that domain?
Yeah.
Is that in the budget?
Albumreviews.jazz. for pennies a day, you can help this podcast afford strange URLs.
I make a living telling people what they want to hear. It's not a killing, but it's enough to keep the cobwebs clear. Cause it's not a perfect plan. It's not a perfect plan, but it's the one we
God. That's like, that just reminds me when like when I used to work at a daycare, one of the teachers used to always say, "We make plans and God laughs." Like
That is a bold statement.
30 times within one conversation. I'm like, I get it. God is having a laugh right now. Like, but that's like what it reminds me of. Like, but
You like planned for a kid not to take a poop on a floor, and then the kid took a poop on
real.
the floor, and God said, "Ha ha ha!"
and that has happened.
And that's a true story.
Yes. I'll include it in my autobiography.
Memoir coming soon.
Yeah.
Link in description.
Trauma from the daycare.
Next time we hear a sad song coming from Girl K, we'll be like, that poopy daycare.
Yeah, exactly.
Really roughed them up.
The policeman was actually a dirty diaper. So.
Yeah.
A potty police.
There's actually a kid who like really did not want to take a nap.
Yeah. Tax fraud, dirty diaper, the balance is tipping.
About equal.
So, yeah.
Honestly.
So what does that line mean to you guys? Make a living telling people what they want to hear. Is she talking about making music? Is she talking about, I don't know.
I feel like it could be anything, kind of, like even when you're interviewing for like a job, you tell them what they want to hear. I mean, even just like
sense, yeah.
even life, like as you maneuver it, like
You're kind of flipping it a little.
yeah I mean, like,
wobbling it.
because being honest about how shitty things can be is so hard and like can make people view you differently, like, but like, it's kind of just like I have to like I could have had the worst day of my life today. I still would have come here and forgotten all about it and just been like, I'm having fun, which wasn't the case. I didn't have a bad day.
Love that. Love that.
But like
Mondays.
just being like,
Mud.
yeah, definitely have to put on a persona to like please the public, because otherwise you kind of like
That could be like an
We'll get
industry statement
excluded.
too,
Yeah,
right?
honestly.
She's gotta like
Yeah.
be cool to the label. And,
yeah.
That's what I was thinking, kind of like, that's showbiz, baby.
that's showbiz, baby.
Like,
Mm-hmm.
there was a video. Oh, who were we talking about? It was an album we talked about recently where someone like learned that like a loved one had passed away.
Avril Lavigne.
Avril
And then she
Lavigne,
cried
thank
during
you.
like the saddest song on
And
her
she still like goes up and like performs for this like sold out show.
album. And the performance is gut wrenching.
Yeah. So that's kind of where my mind went. Is
Yeah.
like at this point, like she's making her coin, she's writing her songs and performing and whatnot, and maybe not fully like consistently believing what she's writing about or performing, which can be tough.
Yeah, it's definitely tough. Like, I can imagine even during this time, if she was performing at all. Like, my dad just went to prison, but I kind of have to brush it under the rug a bit and, like, perform for you and, like, put on this persona. Like, because she is very much, like, cool girl. Like, I'm cool. But, like, to deal with, like, trauma like that during maybe touring even, because you don't get over something like that in a year. She's been there for 12 years.
Right.
Like, come on.
Can we hear a little bit of that guitar solo that comes right after where we stopped?
Yeah, man.
Because it's kind of like a beautiful example of like this is a lot to say, and it's kind of like cheesy to say this, but like the guitar says it just as well. It's like a soundscape.
Yeah.
There's a lot of feels right here.
Reminds me of like a beating heart.
Sure. I was thinking of like being underwater,
Yeah.
like in Mario World when he.
Yeah,
Not
water
that.
level. No, I know what you're saying. Yeah, that part, that like little twinkly synth in the background.
It just happens like one time, and it's
Yeah.
enough to be like, ah.
It was
Beacon
giving
of
me very much like Mort Garson's Plantasia,
Ooh,
Sure.
yes.
where it's like, this song is for Pothos, and it's like, like, it's mood.
Yeah.
She a whole moon.
Listening to that after having a little bit of
Fake champagne.
Kava. Okay. Kava. It's still wine.
Liar juice.
We should rename the cocktail. Instead of Death in the Afternoon, it's Liar Juice.
St Vincent's dad when he committed tax fraud.
Yeah. Too soon.
Hand over mouth.
It's been 12 years.
It has.
Do you know?
Is he out now?
I don't know. This was from 2011.
So this is a fun fact. The album Daddy's Home
Wow.
coincided with her dad getting out of prison.
Wow. Do you think St. Vincent had any, like, partaking in getting him in, like, an early release?
That's
I
an
feel
interesting question. I
'cause
don't know.
It seems like it would have been an early release. There's no way it's been 12 years. Has it?
Well, this was
2011.
Yeah.
I
I
know.
think he got sentenced in 2010 and was Daddy's Home last year or the year before.
It was, like, 2 years ago, I believe.
Yeah. So it was like,
So it's
year.
pretty close.
pretty much.
Yeah.
So he didn't get out for no good behavior. What was going on
He was a
there?
bad boy.
Bad-
Sorry. But Daddy's Home now. I did have to Google what the title of track number 9 was.
Yeah, it's a fun word.
I didn't
This is
know the
kind
word
of-
beforehand.
This is kind of a great
Dilettante?
diss.
Dilettante.
Dilettante.
Tell us, did you get the definition, Sarah?
Yeah, so it's a person who has an amateur interest in the arts. Like someone who kind of cares about it, but they're not really good at it.
But they're dumb.
Yeah.
No, not you.
Literally
Not
me.
you.
This
Not your- okay.
podcast.
No.
Literally me. I literally anything that I pick up, like whether it's art, music, like any hobby,
Yeah.
I'm just like I just do it. So I feel like sometimes I'm never doing it like 100% correct.
Yeah.
But I just want to do it. And like I'll wing it through that but like there's always a part of me where I'm just like I know I could commit myself to it more. So
Yeah.
like definitely relating to that word.
Definitely feeling very dilettante at the moment.
So she's like dissing on a guy, right? Elijah, possibly. She's like, oh, he's a dilettante. He's a street savant.
Elijah is also biblical, isn't it?
Yes.
Yes.
Like, oh, Elijah rock. Choir moment.
So in my mind, before she wrote this, she's like talking to her girls and be like, oh man, Elijah, he thinks a brushstroke is a type of swim movement.
Read. I was feeling like I was also thinking of like the biblical thing. I was thinking the song felt a little bit like not a prayer, like please can I have this thing, but just like a vibe prayer. Like not that I'm not a religious person, but I could imagine like here's what I'm feeling at the moment and here's what I'm longing for and let me just like put that out to something.
Yeah. I feel like this song also like it shared similar melody lines to Strange Mercy. Oh, little that, and then like that specific one, and like oh, little one, like that's literally Strange Mercy.
Yeah.
And this song, she has a lot of like oh, little something something, or like oh, someone, like oh, Elijah, or oh, little one. Like that's just like a, I don't know, like little trademark of St. Vincent, I guess. But yeah, this one instrumentally was, I'm like not blown away by it, but definitely like memorable, at least in terms of melody.
I saw this one was also a little bit like, I know St. Vincent and New York City have a bit of a history and a bit of a like on again, off again relationship. And I saw there was a little bit of reference in the song to that of like, I'm just a kid from Oklahoma and I feel like a dilettante in New York. Like I feel like it's so out of my league and I feel like I'm so like listening to the party through my wall, but I'm not invited. Like kind of imposter syndrome-y, which is very much like, oh, hi, Moose.
Oh, so she's the dilettante, not Elijah?
I was kind of getting that vibe.
I might have
A
misinterpreted.
little bit.
Because she is not a dilettante. She knows about brushstrokes.
No, she's so smart and talented. But, you know, you like, I think as creative people in a space where a lot of creative people do stuff.
Especially in New York, right? Like, oh
Especially
man,
New
I could not
York.
be a podcaster in New York.
I would get
Or any type of artist
scared.
in New York.
Yeah, but you know, you kind of feel like I'm pee-pee poo-poo.
Every artist has imposter syndrome. That's for
Right.
sure.
Yeah.
Right.
Like it's inevitable, you know. But yeah, I feel like especially someone like St. Vincent who like has, I like can't imagine carrying the cool girl persona So I'm very much like have been in that point where I want to go on stage, I want to come across as a cool girl, and then I'm like laughing and like just just being real, like, and it's very hard to like carry that, I guess, like because St. Vincent is kind of like, or any artist really, like you're kind of a persona, like it's still a part of yourself, but like you can't be too much of yourself because then it's not really marketable. It's not as ambiguous. So I mean, I've had points where like I had a Twitter account and all my social medias were just like my personals turned into like Girl K accounts. Now, like, my bandmates would be like, you can't post, like, depressing stuff on your Twitter. like
Why
labels.
not? We do.
Right? Like, right. They're like, labels are going to look at that and be like, what?
Like, hey, what's up, man?
Yeah. Like, and it's, so, like, it is strange. Like, when you look at celebrities today, like, there's a lot of assuming and assumptions about what they're thinking, what they're doing. Even us, like, analyzing these songs. Like,
Totally.
Yeah.
You know? So it is weird, you know. The imposter syndrome is real always.
Yeah, especially when you got to be like the brand.
Yeah, so much pressure.
I did read that definition, and I was like, "Oh no, oh no! Now am I a dilettante?" You gotta have like some hysterical strength to get through that.
Yes.
Yeah. Track number next.
I think the strength of the comedy on our show is hysterical.
Yeah,
It's a little bit of a reach, but
no imposter syndrome there. We're funny. Period.
yeah, thank you.
Girl K said so. It's official. We're on episode 69.
Put that on the website.
Might as well be the Chicago Reader.
Thank you.
Yeah. Get Leo on here. The Pizza King.
It's happening.
yeah.
Hysterical strength. Track number 10.
Oddly dancey for more
Yeah,
dad
a little
stuff.
bit of a switch 'em up.
For, like,
A
this is-
club song.
Yeah.
I love the drums.
Fun.
So good.
Can we play a
Yeah.
little just from the get go,
Absolutely.
just to get out of this sad guitar vibe.
Yeah, that's fine. It's giving like Casey Musgrave's High Horse.
Oh, sure.
Ooh. But on drugs.
Yes. I'm like, yeah.
I don't know if we've had 4 on the floor this whole album, have we? Like 4 kicks?
Maybe on Northern Lights.
Maybe.
No.
Maybe.
But yeah, this is like a club song almost, right?
Yeah.
It's like from the
The
get-go.
chorus is where it's so clubby, or like I don't know, just somewhere in the middle of the song. But I definitely was
But
like,
I ain't.
it's cool. It's a good running song.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Would you put this on your indie dance playlist or whatever we said earlier in the episode?
Certainly.
Yeah, part 2.
Yeah.
I love looking up those like YouTube videos where it's like Paramore dance workout. Like, I love that shit.
There's a girl named Mad Fit or something like that.
That's who I look up.
I love her Ariana Grande one.
Yes!
I love her Taylor Swift one.
They're so
That's why I made
good.
my dance indie workout one.
Yes.
Because I was like, oh, I need some more like indie songs in here.
Yes. Yes. Mad Fit, come on our podcast.
Yeah,
I
comment if
love
you comment if you're Mad Fit.
If you're Mad Fit, smash that fucking like button
For
and
real.
leave a review.
Come on.
I mean, should we close it out with the last song?
Wow, we're there already?
Can I give a fun
Yeah.
fact real quick?
You're.
I was born in the year of the tiger.
You were born 2010?
Whoa.
No, I was born in 98.
I don't know how Chinese calendars work.
I just know I'm also year of the tiger. I think it's like every 12 years or something.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I think it's Year of the Rabbit now.
I think you're right.
I was 99, so I have no idea.
Let's look it up.
It's like Year of the Capybara.
You were a rabbit. Year of the rabbit, 99.
Oh, yay! I love
That's
bunnies.
fun. That's sweet.
Tiger's fierce, though.
Google tells me 94 is Wood Dog.
Wood dog.
I don't
What
know
is
what
that?
It's just dog.
It might just be dog.
Yeah, that makes sense.
What? You mean coyote? Like,
Wood.
what is a wood dog?
Does it make sense because I'm kind and loyal or easily distracted for dog?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Porque no los dos?
Yeah,
Get you a bay from 1994.
exactly. You meet someone at the bar. What year were you born? Like,
Yeah, screwed like a. Are you an Aries? Are you a Taurus? Hey, what year were you born in?
yeah.
I'm
There you
Year
go.
of the Tiger.
Mhm.
Level it up. Level
Yeah.
your game up.
If you're not, you're the dog. I'm sorry.
Mhm.
There can't be two tigers in this relationship.
We're gonna be ripping each other.
Yeah.
Me looking up what my boyfriend's.
This just
That's
in.
funny
just
because
for
Cameron
me.
has to listen to
Yeah,
it.
Cameron, you might be dumped today.
Cameron, my love, I'm so sorry. I
Cameron?
won't dump you over this, but you were born in the year of the rat.
Oh no.
Whoa.
We had a rat year. One of the first years we started dating, actually. I think it was like 2019.
Chicago
or
been in
2020.
a rat year.
Do you know one of my favorite fun facts about Chicago is Chicago
hate
has
this
a
fact.
1-to-1 human to rat ratio.
You know how many humans there are?
Yeah. So everyone has, I've said this on the podcast before, everyone who lives in Chicago has like a rat counterpart.
Yeah.
It's
Time
a
for a
rat,
new
like, soul
species.
sister.
We must unite.
Yes. Join forces.
This is the change the world has needed.
yes.
Y'all remember Splinter?
Everyone's gonna learn kung fu.
We all been drinking that green shit. It's that naked juice.
Yeah, it was actually turtle juice.
Yeah.
We're gonna do turtle karate now.
Year of the Tiger.
Year of the Tiger. Track number 11, last song on the album.
I have a fun fact.
Give it to me.
This is notably one of her only songs that her mom is cited as a writer on.
Cute.
Yeah. Isn't that kind of nice?
Aww.
So her mom is smart.
Yeah.
Oh, that's where you get it. It's genetic, probably.
Wow. Sorry, mom and dad. That wasn't an
we get more bashing on America on this one. There's like a small like backup vocal that's like, "Oh, America, can I owe you one?"
Yeah, can we play
yeah.
it? It's like kind
It's
of,
right in the get go.
it's a little bit ghoulish.
Yeah.
It's a little spook. It's a little spooky ooky ooky.
And while you're pulling it up, I wonder if this is like 2 years post 2008 recession.
Sure.
Like we're still in like the Iraq War. This is like not a good time
Oh, yeah.
for America. So like, yeah, it makes sense why she's shitting on it.
Absolutely. And I was like 12 at the time, so I don't give a fuck. but I could see how someone with more of a frontal lobe than myself
Yes.
Yeah.
would
Yeah.
feel that way.
Could create art about it.
Yeah. I was too busy
Shout out
playing
Belugas.
Just Dance. Like,
That's ferocious.
yeah, that's
Tiger.
kind of a large
Yeah.
tiger.
When I was young, Coach called me the tiger.
The space there. Called me. ... Tiger.
Yeah.
I always had a knack with the danger, living in fear in the year of the tiger, living in fear in the year of the tiger, Italian shoes.
Yeah. This is the Fiona Apple vibe song.
Yes.
Absolutely. Like,
Very much.
when I was just looking at like the feel and like the acoustic guitar that comes in there, I was just like, yeah, this is Fiona Apple.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's a good like last song on the album vibes. Last song on the album is a lot of pressure.
How do you leave them? What taste do you leave in your mouth?
But I feel like again, I think the first half of the album was just so strong. So the second half of the album feels like more so kind of like her being like, I really want to say something, or like I'm really feeling something and I need to like convey that. So it's not so much about like throwing a hit in your face or really like, or like tying it all together with like the best song on the album at the end of the album. It is more sort of like, I got you paying attention now, and now you're listening. So
I'm going to say what I got to say.
Exactly, yeah.
Do what I got to do.
Do what I got to do.
And just kind of send you off with a ferocious little kiss.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a... it's very Raja vibes,
Ferocious
right?
little
Aladdin.
Do we have anything else we want to say about this last song or this album in general before we give it a Rabruski?
7.5 out of 10.
I rock with
Very
that.
good, yeah.
I rock with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think just because the start of it's so strong,
Mm-hmm.
and like so many of my favorite songs are of hers in general are on the first half of that album, which makes me want to like listen to her other discography and see like if that's a recurring pattern. Like, is she just trying to pull you in and then, you know, finally like have the space to, I don't know, like just play around with? Because I feel like artists all have that path of like where you can where ideally you want to just like put out the music that you want to put out, but you have to have something there that's going to put you on the map. So I feel like she put herself on the map and then like was like, okay, now I really am trying to like tell you a story. So yeah, I feel like 7.5 out of 10, like definitely a listenable album all the way through. But not everything's gonna be a hit.
If you put Cruel like 7 times back to back, if you just like cue it a bunch.
You had a whole bunch.
I did that with Come On Eileen.
Yes!
I remember laying in my parents' foyer and like just laying down on the floor with headphones on and listening to that song over and over and over again. And so like Cruel is that song.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Do we dare say the Champagne of St. Vincent albums?
Honestly,
That's kind of fun.
that is great.
Yeah?
Because
Yeah.
I do think it is like it's very sophisticated
So sophisticated.
Yeah.
Like it came from France.
and it's like very
Unlike our
strong.
wine.
Mhm.
Yeah. Whereas like I feel like the other albums are very like the ones before this I feel like are a spiked iced tea.
Yes.
And like the ones after this
Are like
are
a
like
vodka.
That's crazy.
Yes,
Like,
yes.
like I feel like this is a good middle ground. Like you're gonna get drunk off of this, but like the other ones are gonna get you shit faced. Like
Yes.
like
And you're going to have fun. Like, it's a fun.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's enjoyable.
exactly, yeah. But you're still smart. Like these are the wine moms of albums.
Yes.
The wine.
This has been incredible. Wonderful review of a really strong album. And I think it definitely just captures St. Vincent's uniqueness. And with our next projects that we have coming out for Girl K, like definitely the inspiration is drawn from this album and some of these songs. So hopefully we can get our own Rabruski someday for topping the St. Vincent.
Beef started on air.
Eddie Clark, if you're listening, teach me music theory. take me on the road with your band. Yeah, but this has been lovely. So,
Well, congratulations, Strange Mercy by St. Vincent. As we've said, you are the Champagne of St. Vincent albums. And we are Album Rebrews. And we'll continue to be Album Rebrews. Like it or not. We hope you like it. If you want to check us out on Twitter or Instagram, it is at Album Rebrews. And our website that has a little guest host submission form is www.albumrebrews.com. And also, if you're listening to this, we know that you're listening to this on a podcast streaming platform.
We know.
We see the analytics.
We know.
I know where you are, and I know where you live, and I have your IP address. And if you don't give us a rating, and if you don't follow or subscribe to our podcast, I'm going to read your IP address live on air next episode. And this is an official threat. So it's free $99. Go ahead and do it. It helps us out. We're a completely independent podcast, and it means a lot. Thanks. I had some absinthe, and I'm mad now.
Yeah, the threats.
Don't listen to Sarah. We love you. You can write a review if you want. We like it. A giant thank you to Cameron Bopp, our podcast editor and singer-songwriter extraordinaire who wrote the theme song for us. We appreciate him. We couldn't do the podcast without him. He's so great. Go check him out on Twitter at Cambop, CAMBOPP. He's a BB boy. A giant thank you to Girl K for coming on our show. This was so great. You should and can go check out all her music, Girl K, on the internet. But if you are on specifically Instagram, go check out Girl K Tunes. You're going to see on there that she is doing a Lollapalooza after show. And I wrote down the date, but now I can't find it. I'm going to clean take this. This is the tricky part. This is why
I'm so impressed that you're doing this off of absinthe and champagne.
Like trying to read. I just have the shit memorized. Like I said the
Oh
same
my God,
shit.
I'd be seeing numbers. Cameron, leave this all in.
Behind the bed.
Capture how fucked up this absinthe and champagne has got us. It's so bad.
Remember at the beginning when I was like, I'm gonna get oopsie drunk?
Oopsies.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Oopsies.
Yeah, it's that like numb in the face feelings.
You got this mouth feel that makes it hard to talk.
Yeah, you did great. Lollapalooza.
You're doing really well.
Lollapalooza is a hard word to say
Yeah.
on freaking absence. All that aside, whether Cameron gets it or not, you can go check out Girl K at a Lollapalooza after show. Saturday, August 5th, opening up for Michelle at Shuba's, one of our favorite spots. But if you can't wait that long, goodness gracious, you shouldn't. You can go check her out at a free summer concert series in Kilbourne Park, July 21st, and that's going to be outside. You
It's gonna be amazing.
You can drink a porch beer out there and listen to Girl K, and you should.
I mean, I don't know if there's like a thing about the Parks District and open containers, but you know, wink, wink.
I won't tell.
Yeah, it'll be cool if we're there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's Woodstock number 2.
Yeah. Kathy, anything you want to say to the folks at home before we get on out of here?
Listen to album reviews all the time. Just, keep an eye out for the live shows. This is a great podcast. And just support local creatives.
Gorgeous. Thank you. To send everyone off in the same order that we introduced ourselves, we're going to get very close to the mic and say a sweet and tender and delicious ASMR style goodbye. So I'll go first. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Goodbye.